Hey guys, and welcome to the second part of this series where I'm going to explain kind of the three lines that I used, or the three situations that I was thrown into and how they kind of panned out. So my best friend one of my good friends actually, she went first, and her her line was, we saw this really cute guy and we're like, okay, him, and your word is goggles. And so she goes up to him. She's like psycho, but she's really good at this. And so she walks up to him. She goes, "Oh my God, are you the guy that I bought goggles off today?" And he's just like, "What?" And he's like, "What are you doing buying goggles?" And she's like, "Well, I'm doing this and this and this and this and this." And then she's asking him a question. And we were seriously there for like 10, 15 minutes talking to this guy who was really sweet. Because we were still hanging around her and we got to meet him, we were introduced him, we were talking about like all these random things and things like that. And it worked out really well. And I'm thinking, wow, this could actually work. And so I'm like, all right, social experiment. I'm cool with that. And so then it was my turn, and I was like, cool, and we saw a couple of guys and we're just like, all right, let's go. And basically I was still a little tentative because it takes me a little while to get comfortable with these things, and I can do this while I'm sober, but just the whole general out of my comfort zone. And once I'm out there and I've grown a little bit, it's like game on, man, nothing is stopping me. So I'm like a little tentative, and then they're like, my friends spot these guys, they're not even that hot, but anyway, whatever, that wasn't the point. And then like I went up to them, and they basically they're like, okay, Jen, your word is kilos, which is like pounds, kilos, that kind of thing. And they pushed me, like seriously, like basically half stacked it in front of him when I got to them. And I was like, oh, excuse me. And he was like, yeah, what's up? And I'm like, I'm just wondering, how many kilos do you think I am? And I just gave him this like serious look, like I was really interested in what he had to say. And he was just like, he did not know what to do with himself. He was just like, and then he was like, and I'm like, it's okay, you can just tell me the truth, you just let me know. You don't have to be nice. And he's like, it was so funny. He was like, 40 kilos, which I think in America that's like, really light, like that's an anorexic person. And then I was bagging him out for just being too nice and all this stuff, and we ended up talking to him for like 15-20 minutes. But in the meantime, my friends are just pissing themselves on the side because I'm talking about weight, and like, who would think that you can actually open a guy up by going, oh my God, just how much do you think I weigh? Do you think I look fat in this? Or like anything like that. But totally works. So then we did that. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of feeling this. This is kind of fun. And then I saw this one guy, and he was like by himself, and I'm like, why is he by himself? And he was kind of bald, like, right? He wasn't old, he just had a jaded head and everything. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be fun. So I'm like, okay, I'm selecting me. I said to my friends, I'm selecting me, and I choose, and the word is bold. So my friends are like, no, Jen, don't do it. I walk over there, and I'm like, and I go up to him, and I like put my hand on his head, start rubbing his head. I go, oh my God, I love bald guys. How do you get that so smooth? And he just looks at me. He's like, oh, I shave it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And and it's so easy once you break that ice, And what I realized was you can use like anything to break the ice. You could say the stupidest, most randomest, most dumbest, blondest thing you can possibly think of, but if you deliver it right and you're just like, yeah, and you're just really confident about it, it totally works. So we did that, talked to him. He was a really sweet guy. He was actually American. So for all the American guys, I love you guys. You're so awesome. And yeah, he was really nice, and I saw him, and then I like pissed off, and we're like, okay, let's go find more poor sorry souls to go harass. And then like there was this whole group of guys. It was probably like 6 to 8 of them, and I'm like, okay, let's open this setup because it's gonna be really fun. And the girls are like, no, there's so many. I'm like walking ahead. I'm like, okay. And then I pick one guy and I go, excuse me, can I ask you a question? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay, so I have a friend over there, and like, let's say she walked up to you and she approached you and she said hello and stuff like that. Would she reject her, or would you actually talk to her, or like what would you kind of do in that situation? And he's like, oh, well, what do I mean? And sorry, that's my phone going. like, you know, I don't know. And we just started this whole conversation of like who should approach who, and then like we started talking about all this other different stuff, and we ended up staying with that group for like, you know, 40, 50, 60 minutes because people kept rotating through it. So what I want to say is that, you know, you don't have to go do this. You don't have to do these stupid ass pickup lines or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, like, when you go out to a club, have fun. Just talk to people. Just smile. Don't be like, you know, us girls, we spend 2 to 3 hours getting dressed, making sure we look hot so that guys will approach us. And then when we go there, we're total snobs. And every time a guy does try and approach us, we're like, yeah, piss off. Why are you trying to hit on me? Like, you know, and it's just like, okay, we totally need to fix this whole mentality. And if you, I'm not saying like go to a club and expect to be picked up, but do go to a club and go have a good time, whether or not that be engaging with other girls or like engaging with your friends and laughing and just having a ball. Don't go to a club and just go, okay, I'm here to like be admired by the rest of the people for the rest of the night because, you know, I'm just so hot and cool, you know. There's too many girls that do that, and I want, if you guys actually stand out from the crowd and do something different, the guys are just going to be swarming all over you, and it's going to be heaps of fun. So that's kind of like my one tip and the 3 lines that I kind of used. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next series. Bye.